How's the tour, first of all, because you've just wrapped that up in Scotland? How was that?
It was absolutely amazing. Like, it's just so good to be back, up on stage performing. Glasgow was wild. It was a rescheduled gig, so it should have been at the start of the last week of touring, but it ended up being the last show. And my goodness, like we literally got on stage and we were like, well, it's meant to be an acoustic show, but the reception we got was just wild. And we were like, okay, maybe it's more of a rock show.
They're just a different breed up there.
Oh my goodness, it was wild.
But you had Kezia on tour with you as well, and obviously she's going to be doing the next tour. First of all, how did that come about, getting Kez on the tour, and why did you go for again for the next tour?
Well, I first heard of Kezia when Mark Hagan played her to me. Actually, I met her actually. I was standing in for Bob, well, a while back now, and Kezia was just in the studio. Mark was sort of showing her and her husband around, and then they sort of stayed. And then Whiskey Drinking Woman was such a great song, and it was obviously playlisted as well. And then I can't remember how we suggested her coming on this tour, the acoustic one. I can't remember how that happened actually.
I think because we've had our own radio show on Apple Music, and we were playing various artists and stuff. So we just felt that Kezia would go down really well. I think we saw her play the C2C show just before we all went down into lockdown. I'm sure it was back then, wasn't it? Or wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we saw her at Buckle and Boots actually. Yeah. That was when we really we bumped into her, because we had the Apple show, and then we saw her at Buckle and Boots, and we heard about how amazing her performance was. She got up on the bar and stuff, and I think she is one of the artists that I think UK wise is sort of gets it. Though I think a lot of people are very talented, but I think she understands what it kind of takes, and the hours she's putting in. And that's not a slight on the other artists at all. It's just she really gets it, and her ambition is just so high, sky high. She went.
The first time she saw us on tour, like joined us, she was like, "Do you remember I gave you my CD?" And my brain was like a fog from the busiest C2C weekend ever. But she went to country just to hand CDs out, just to be recognised. And it's crazy that she's never performed at C2C yet. She's applied every single year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and finally this year she's being able to perform there. And I just feel like so many big things are going to happen for her this year. It's going to definitely be her year. She's just working her ass off to make it happen.
Yeah, and it looks like you guys had an absolute blast together as well, because I'm following the Instagram stories and all that. And how much of a support act choice, or how important is it when you're choosing a support act to look at the personality side of things and know who you're going to have an absolute blast with?
I think, no, that is, you know what, I wouldn't say just for support acts, just in general, like in touring, it's like, it's really important that someone is not annoying. It's nice to be around, and there's chemistry, because you're spending a lot of time with people, and it's a massive thing. It's almost more important sometimes. And yeah, it was great. We had so much fun. Also, it's important with Crissie, I think, to have another woman as well, because it can get a bit boy. I hate being so binary about stuff, but it can be a bit smelly boys and stuff, and it's I think it's nice. It's nice. Kezia has a great balance, and I think with the big tour coming up, the Eric Pasley as well, he's going to bring that kind of glossy, US country element as well. So we're very excited.
We know how important it is to give that platform to other artists coming through, and our fans and our audience that come to the shows, they want to come in and watch the support act. They want to know who that person is, and most often they go out and they buy the CDs and really invest in those artists off of the back of the tours. So we feel like it's a really great opportunity that she can represent herself on the road with us.
That's really cool. And you got this new album coming out, which I want to chat with you about, 10-year plan. Talk to me about the album title, because I'm guessing 10 years ago you wouldn't have believed where you've got to now and playing massive venues. And so where did the album title come from, and what inspired the album?
Well, yeah, that was the title of the album. Is obviously a song on the record, but it was just like, when we would have been together 10 years when this album's out, and it was kind of, we never really had a plan. It's kind of an ironic title in the sense that, we got together and it seemed like a crazy plan as well. Sort of, we're going to make country music, we're going to be UK country act. And when you look back, well, when we look back, it's like you can plot everything. You can say, yeah, Bob Harris played us. And then because of that, we then got playlists. And because of that, we went international. And you can plot it all. And it makes sense. But kind of the truth is that there was no plan. We just went from thing to thing, and the pandemic was a great chance to kind of look back and go, oh my gosh, well, we've done a lot, and to really properly reflect on it. Like, I think the culmination in a way was probably headlining the Royal Albert Hall and selling it out. Like, people still, they don't literally believe me, especially on the school run. I can see in their eyes, they're like, well, who are you supporting? And it's like, no, we sold that out as a UK country act. And I remember the days vividly when Crissie couldn't afford petrol to come to my flat in St Albans. She was like, I really can't afford the petrol. And it's like, those, to think, if you could flash forward from that moment and be like, one day we're going to be here on album 5. You'd take it in a heartbeat, and I'd do it all again. It was there were challenges along the way, and there will be challenges in front of us, but we've just been so lucky. And it's just, I think it is quite a reflective album, I guess, in a way. And it's really looking forward. It's quite a fresh sound for us and quite an exciting record, I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because there's some songs on there that are sort of categorically Shires and very much your comfort zone, but other songs that are going to surprise the fans, and some that are a little bit different for you guys. So what did you kind of want to set out to achieve with this? What sort of statement did you want to make with this project?
I mean, we didn't really set out to do anything on this album. Basically, I think we were still reeling from the fact that the last album, the Good Years album, we didn't get to really promote. Everything was just shut down in an instant, and it kind of felt like, well, we've just done a whole album of songs. Like, do we just forget that we've done it? Like, is that it? It seems so strange to us to bring an album out and have no feedback, no, interaction with anybody about a whole thing. So it was a long time of just like, so we just have to start writing again, kind of thing. Gratefully, Ben basically just got straight on it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just wrote for the sake of it and just for the enjoyment of it. And I think, that again is quite funny, because there was no plan. It was just like, it's just going to make music. There's no intention. There was no date. It wasn't like you need to have written this many songs to make an album by this date. I knew that would happen. I knew that our record label would at some point come and be like, well, have you got an album ready to go? It's always the way. It's always like, we need it in 8 weeks' time. But that wasn't really in the forefront of my mind. The main thing was like, I just want to make and write. I love songs. I just want to write the very best songs that I can right now, and having that time. And I've genuinely just enjoyed it. I absolutely loved coming in this room here. I just sit down and, till late at night and just write for the sake of it. When I listen back to it now as a body of work, I'm really proud of that time, because it was really enjoyable.
Yeah. And a personal favourite for me is Plot Twist, which is one of those that is a little bit different for you guys. You collaborated with Beth McCarthy on that one. So tell us a little bit about how that one came together, because it's quite dark and quite atmospheric as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, I'm a huge Radiohead fan, firstly. I loved them growing up. I was really inspired by a Miley Cyrus song. It's called Angel Flying, what's it called? Angels Like You, that was it. And I just thought, I want to write a song that gives me that feeling. And I had the title. And what I did on this record was I thought about the best person to sort of finish that song with. Because often I just kind of chase it. I'd be like, well, I'm going to finish a song. I want to get it done. But I was like, I've known Beth for years, and she's always had a very successful last couple of years with her artist thing. And she's a great writer, and I just knew that she would get that kind of vulnerable lyric thing. So we wrote on Zoom, and I had most of the chorus, and I just showed it to her, and we wrote it, within a couple of hours, sat here on Zoom. And then I sent her the demo, which is very similar to the record. She put her vocal on, and she has this kind of ghosty, whispery thing in her vocal. And I think that really inspired you, Crissie, didn't it, when you came to do your vocal on there?
Yeah, she had this incredible, like, almost like haunting kind of vocal on there. I said to Ben, like, I'm terrible at like imitating whoever, like if there's somebody that's demoed the song, I usually love the way they've done it. I said to Ben, I can't get this, I can't really match this vocal. I'm just gonna have to do my own version of it. So yeah, mine's not sort of similar, but it was lovely to hear.
I think that's going to be a real sort of fan favourite as well when the album comes out. Another one I really like is Peggy, I'm Sorry as well, which you've left in sort of demo raw format. Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Yeah, so I'd written another song that day, and I you have these times when you write a song and you convince yourself it's good the whole time, and sometimes you get to the end of the day, you're like, that's just not very good. I don't like that song. And then I was literally sat here like this way, and I had my guitar on me, and my grandma's got Alzheimer's quite badly. It's been quite early onset, quite quick onset, sorry. And I don't know what it was. I had this loop up, the drum loop. I had this little gospel, that humming thing. I just put those loops together, and I just started playing the guitar, and it really did just come out of me. And I wrote and recorded the whole thing about 45 minutes. And that is like, the guitar is like just DI'd in, it's just a cable. I sang the whole thing live as well. And I just sang the song, and that was it. And then Crissie came and put her vocal on the harmonies as well and lifted it again. But I just thought, like, I really want that to be on the record. And, the important songs that we've done over the years, like Daddy's Little Girl, Crissie's song, they're really important to people. And sometimes you just have to say something that's just really real. And that is quite a tough song for me to sort of listen to. But I think people will, even if they don't understand exactly what it's about, I think they get the feeling of it. And it's also just sonically quite, again, different for us, I think, as well.
Yeah. Is there one on the album that particularly stands out for you guys as one that you're thinking, I can't wait for the fans to get their hands on this?
For me, it's like the song Cut Me Loose is the opening track. I've been a fan of that song for years. It has been lingering around us for many years, in that we actually recorded it for our second album, and Ben discovered, we were out in Nashville, I think we were writing at the time, and he discovered Lizzie playing in a bar, and she was playing that song, and he basically just approached her and was like, can I have this for my album? Like, this is such a great song. And so we recorded it all those years ago, and it didn't quite fit for that album. And it's just been one of my favorites, and I've always listened to the demo, the recorded version that we've done, and still just loved it. And I didn't write anything for this album, or I had like one writing session over Zoom, which I found sort of awkward. So I didn't bring a lot to the table in terms of writing, but if there was one song I could bring to the table, it was that one. And I was just like, please, can we throw this one on there, because I love it. And I'm really excited to sort of play that one live. I think it'd be fun.
It's going to be so great live. And it felt like the right moment. For whatever reason, on the second album, it wasn't the right time. And I think now your vocal's more mature as well, and it's an exciting song. I think the venues we're playing as well, to have that song live is just going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned there, Crissie, how you didn't do a lot of writing for this project. How sort of precious are you guys about writing for your own albums? Do you listen to a lot of songs all the time that are pitched to you? How does the whole process work?
Well, I mean, I just trusted Ben that he was going to write a whole lot of music. I knew that he was writing a lot whilst we were sort of locked down, and I know that he just gets. I feel like the both of us, backstage when we were on tour, we were playing. I put a playlist of all these 90s sort of songs, early noughties, and we both grew up listening to the same songs, so we both just liked the same things. So I had full trust that he would write anything that I would love anyway. So I just didn't feel, I don't know why, I just felt like I needed a complete break from music through lockdown, and it was great. But it's nice to be able to sort of come back around again and start back, because we've been together for 9 years, and off the time that we've been together, we've literally been working solid, and I'm loving what we've been up to, but it's been exhausting and like kind of crazy to never be at home. So whilst I was allowed that time off, I loved it, and I went full hog and enjoyed it.
And just finally, guys, I know we're running out of time, but you've got this tour coming up starting in April, coming to the Symphony Hall, which I'm very excited about as always. How excited are you to get out there with a full band and play not just the stuff from this album, but from the last album? Because like you said, Crissie, you completely missed that cycle. So,
I mean, it's just like your best birthday party you've ever had every night. And it's literally, and particularly the Symphony Hall, because it is a really special venue. It's beautiful, but also quite intimate, even though it's massive. Yeah, I mean, the acoustic tour's been a good kind of warm up for us in the sense of the emotions, because it does feel. Glasgow was, like Crissie said, the closest to like a full band show in terms of what we feel on stage, because it's just incredible. Like when you've got the full band there, you have that, you feel like you've got that wall of sound behind you. And you can see it on people's faces, like, obviously the more intimate songs like Daddy's Little Girl, but, when we have the bigger songs, and now we've got more of them with this record and Good Years, like we've never played Lightning Strikes with a full band. We've never done that, and yet when we played it in Glasgow, like people are singing every word, they're going crazy to it. I think it's going to take us by, I'm kind of more ready for it now emotionally, but I still think it's going to take us by surprise, how fun it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for doing this. As always, pleasure to chat with you. I could talk to you all day, every time. Yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully see you at the Symphony Hall when you.
We'll see you at C2C.
We'll see you at C2C, of course we will.
Definitely, man.
Definitely. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Then. See you soon, man. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye bye.